Hello guys, LaserBeast here. Now, we've got some exciting news to talk about. So, it's just recently been the 30th anniversary stream for World of Warcraft and Hearthstone and Warcraft Rumble and everything else that's been going on. So, exciting news. Player housing has been confirmed. We're actually getting it, guys. Didn't expect this from the stream whatsoever. I thought maybe a new allied race or just some details on Midnight, which we did get as well. But player housing has been confirmed, something that we wanted for quite a long time now. And it's posed so many questions. Now, the guys had previously said that implementing player housing was going to be quite a big task and something that they might have not thought would be possible this early on, but they've obviously figured something out and it's coming to us as early as potentially the Midnight pre-patch, which is of course the next expansion in the World Soul Saga. Now, my first thought and feeling was excitement, of course, as is probably yours as well to hear about this news, but as we've come to learn, sometimes Blizzard get things a little bit messed up and they do things wrong. So there was a little bit of doubt there, a bit of worry that he might actually get this wrong and balls it up somehow. Now, it is going to be a nice addition regardless to the game, whether they get this absolutely spot on and nail it, or whether it's just mediocre and sort of average, but it genuinely has the potential to be an incredible addition to the game, as long as they get this right, and I really hope they implement it pretty much perfectly. No pressure. But it does bring so many questions. So where will the player house be? Will there be multiple locations? Do we get to choose? Can we have multiple houses if there are multiple locations? Is it going to be a phased area, just like the garrison is? Hence why I'm here today. Come and join me by the fire. Presumably it will be a phased thing, because I don't know how the hell they would do it if it wasn't phased at all. They need a humongous area to put people's houses, so that's just not realistic. So it's going to be phased in some aspect, right? Maybe we get our own little pocket dimension, and that's where our house is. That would make sense. There is on the roadmap a little weird Hearthstone symbol. You may have seen that. So that could be a separate Hearthstone just for our house. Or Hearthstone, sorry, if you say it that way. So it's probably going to be a phased area. The big question on everyone's minds is, what level of customization do we actually get over this thing? How much control have we got? Can we change the position of the rug? Can we tilt the chairs? Can we get different chairs? Can we make our own chairs? Can we choose what goes on the walls? Now, you probably noticed in the image the Onyxia head in the background. So that would be so cool as well, getting some trophies from raid bosses that we've killed, something thematic to that raid or that boss, the final boss encounter, putting the head on the wall, maybe like, imagine like a claw of N'Zoth or something on the wall, or a weapon that you've got from there, like your favourite weapon. All these things are possible, and I really, really hope they do get implemented somehow. Now, as is the case, we know, it might be that we get these things implemented and it gets built on all the time, which I'm sure will be the case. I just hope it doesn't start off when everyone's riding this big hype wave, we get these player houses and it's just average. You know what I'm saying? I really hope they nail this from the get-go. So there really is, I suppose, a lot of work for the guys at Blizzard to do. More questions. Do we get a portal from our house to other places? So can we get a portal to our faction's major city, or do we just have to Hearthstone out? How do we actually get into the player house? Will there be any class-specific player housing perks? For example, mages could do portals, but that would just be OP. So maybe it's like shamans get like a little lava elemental following them round that they can choose the element of, that might do things in the house for them maybe. Can we put combat pets in the house? Can they be roaming around just like they were in our garrison, but to a bit more of our control? And then there's also the question of the shop. Will things for the player housing system go on the shop? Probably. You can see it, right? Buy the new such a thing cosmetic bundle for your player house, and it comes with some traders tenders too, just to pat you on the back, So that's probably going to be a thing, which is probably going to rub people up the wrong way. But how do we get stuff to customize our house, if we can customize it? Just going to go for a walk so that you don't get the annoying AFK screen from LVI spinning around and making you feel sick. I'll do that for you instead. So, I'm just going to chill in the garrison over here. So yeah, it opens the possibility of a new profession, something like crafting furniture, so maybe woodworking or carpentry, couldn't think of the right word. So that could be a profession that players could use to create furniture for player houses. Maybe though, because I would imagine implementing a brand new profession is quite a big task, and what if everyone just jumped over to that one and ditched the other one? So I kind of don't think they'll do a new profession, so perhaps it could be a sort of NPC work order system where we submit our materials, so maybe things that we can make through the professions. So, of course, tailorers could make things like curtains or cushions, that kind of stuff, that we could then submit to a crafter NPC that would then make that into a nice bench for us, combining what the profession has made. All these possibilities. You can see my head's going a bit wild with this, but there are really so many possibilities. And expectations, I think, are going to be super high for this. Ian did say that in order to get it implemented in the way that it should be implemented, like the right way, they had a lot of work to do. So it's clear that Ion really wants to get this right, and I'm sure all of the devs do, and everyone working on the system currently, I'm sure they really want to nail this and give us, the players, and themselves as creators, a really perfect kind of implementation of this system. Fingers crossed. Now this could massively tie in with the achievement system too. Now I'm sure there will be, if it does, a lot of retroactive achievements that grant you certain things, like we saw that Anexia had. So if you've killed Anexia, you're able to display that trophy in your player house. That makes perfect sense. But there could be other things, maybe like meta achievements that grant you certain things for your house. That would also make sense too. Collections, maybe if you collect a certain amount of battle pets, for example, you get a statue. Like, do you remember this from the garrison? Where is it? This statue that you could get. I bet you have not got one on this druid. Oh no, yeah, here. So with this statue, you could choose certain things to go on there. I don't have any on the druid, that's awkward. But if you remember from WoD, obviously not a great example, but you could put a statue on here, right? So if you completed certain achievements, you could put your own statue on there and you can choose which one you wanted on there. So that would be another good idea too for the garrison. Not for the garrison, for the player house. There really are so many things they can do with this. And it also begs the question, yet another question, what about guild houses? Now, will this tie in? Can you have players visiting your player house? I would presume so, right? Because it would be a real shame if you couldn't. But in what capacity will that be? Now, with the garrisons, it was a little bit clunky. You could have someone visit your garrison. But yeah, the system wasn't perfect. Now, how will we get other people in our house? How many people can you have? Is there a limit? Can you have like guild meetings in there? Look at this guy. It's so rude. But yeah, again, more questions. But wouldn't this be cool? What if the characters in your warband could show up in your player house? So you were literally there with yourself. It seems a bit weirdly. These guys are so rude. If your warband characters could come into your house with you, so maybe you could choose 3 other characters that could be present in the house. You've got the AI system that we saw with Bran. I'm not suggesting they should do Bran things, but you could have them walking around your house, interacting with things, maybe talking to each other. It would just be perfect. These guys, man. I'm going to move because, you know, these guys have no manners. Let's stand on it. We will be the monument because we don't currently have one, so we'll be the monument for the garrison. There we go. For the alliance, for the horde as well. For housing, we'll go with that one now. So there was also mentioned that we will be able to customize the warband. So that to me says the login screen. We'll be able to change elements of that. Now, I've discussed with a few other people, always thought this would be a cool idea if you could have some control over the background of your warband login screen. So perhaps you could change the area. Perhaps you could add trophies to that as well. But how perfectly would this tie in with the player housing system? Imagine if the warband login screen in the background of that was your house, and when you logged into your character, you were in your house already, and you could just go out into the world and explore things. So it kind of just zooms into the character that you choose, and off you go. Just like when you started the game for the very first time, and the camera pans around and goes to the back of your character, and then you enter third person mode and you begin the game. It'd just be so cool. Now, yes, this video is just a bit of an excited ramble because big hype for the system, but I want to know what you think. The questions I've asked about 17 different questions in this video. What do you think the answers to those questions could be? Let me know in the comments. Let's discuss this thing. And I'm sure Blizzard are going to be looking out there for feedback on this system when it does get implemented and put onto the PTR or maybe a beta to be tested. And they're going to be looking for feedback, I'm sure. So let's discuss. Let's give them some feedback. So guys, as you can tell, I'm really, really excited for this system. Something that I didn't think we would get. I always knew it would be a good idea, but I just didn't think they'd do it. But here we are, the mad lads, they're actually going for it. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. There will absolutely be more videos about this. I will be keeping my eye on any updates to come. So if you did enjoy this kind of video, or you want to see more guides from me about World of Warcraft, please do consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like on the video to show that you enjoyed it. I do also stream on Twitch, so jump over on Twitch if you fancy catching one of our streams, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been LaserBeast, and I'll catch you next time. Maybe in the player house. Cheers.